Kelly. Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we are going to talk about all the books that I read in the month of October. Now, I'm super excited because I feel like I read a lot in October, which is a pat on the back for me because I felt like I was in a slump a little bit there. So I'm excited to talk about the books that I read, give my ratings on them, and also talk about a couple books that I did not get to this month as well. So let's start with some statistics to start this video off. So I read a total of 5 books this month, which I'm a little confused because I think I might have added an extra book to my TBR because usually I do 6 books on the TBR, but I think this month I did 7. I'm a little confused on the numbers, but I read 5. 2 of the books on my TBR I did not get to, and the average rating this month was a 3.75, so I feel like this year has not been a lot of 5-star reads, so my average rating for books has been a little lower just because I'm really like trying to find books that I really love. Some of the genres I read was horror, romance, fantasy, and mystery. So I kind of had a mix for October, which I really wanted to get some horror and mystery in there for spooky season, of course. So those are the stats. Let's talk about the 2 books that I did not get to this month. The 2 books that I did not get to this month is Maybe Meant to Be by K.L. Walther and Just My Type by Fallon Ballard. Now, I just was not in the mood for it, even though this is screaming fall vibes with the colors. Just did not get to it. I do want to read them, and that's why I have them. So hopefully in the future I get to these because I would love to read them. But it just wasn't the vibe for October. So hopefully in the near future these will get read. The first book that I read in the month of October is A Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy I. Lin. Now, I really wanted to love this book. Like, the concept of tea magic was really unique, as well as like some trials that our main character had to go through. I was like, I love a good trial. But this didn't really connect with me as I thought I would like it to. The characters I didn't really connect. The pacing I felt like was off. There's a lot of events in the story that I was like, huh? What is going on? I don't know if it's because it's like a higher fantasy type book or political book. I don't know. I just was not getting that connection and like love to read for it. I will say the writing in this is very beautifully written. But I just did not find a connection to it. I didn't really enjoy my time reading it. It felt slow. So I did rate this a 2.5 stars, sadly. I know it's a series, and I know Judy I. Lin writes some other books that have been kind of talked about, like Song of the Six Realms I've seen a lot about, so I'm not gonna fully give up on her. I do want to read maybe that book, the Song of Six Realms, just to see maybe if it's just this book in the series or if it's the author that I don't really enjoy. But that was my rating. That was my first book. I was scared starting off with a very low rated book how the month was gonna go, but you'll see it did not go terrible. But that was the first book I read this month. So A Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy I. Lin. Now, I knew that since I rated the first book so low that I needed something so I would not fall into a reading slump, and I know reading manga or something shorter, graphic novels, anything like that helps me get out of a slump because it's easier to read and it usually takes a day or 2 to get through it. So I picked up Dissolving Classroom by Junji Ito. Junji Ito is like a horror manga writer. I watched there was like a Netflix show based off his stories, and I really enjoyed it. It's kind of like Twilight Zone-esque, where he writes these like horror short stories. So that's what this manga contains. It's like short stories of these 2 characters, Yuma and Chizumi. So Yuma is like obsessed with the devil and like apologizing, and his little sister Chizumi is like kind of psychotic, as you can see with her face. But I absolutely love like stuff like this where it's weird and freaky and creepy, like I said, Twilight Zone-esque. These definitely creeped me out. which I think that's what it's supposed to do, is kind of freak you out in a way, and kind of feel a little unsettling with the images. But this was my first Junji Ito manga that I've read, so I enjoyed it. I did give it a 3.25 because some of the times I was like, okay, this is just kind of silly, but I do enjoy the art style that he has, and I like the way he makes like bizarre, horrific stories. So I do want to read more by him and maybe add more to my collection. But I know I like thrifted this book, so I thought that was surprising to see. So I would love to read more of his work. So that was book number 2. I rated it 3.25, and it's Dissolving Classroom by Junji Ito. The next book is What the Hex by Jessica Clare. Now this is a fun, like, paranormal slash witchy rom-com type book, which was really fun to read in the month of October because it just got me into the mood of like Halloween coming up. And I enjoyed the banter between Penny and Willem. They are like the definition of grumpy sunshine. I mean, there's other characters in other books that are definitions, but this book is very heavy on the grumpy sunshine aspect. Like, she wears bright colors, his house is all gray. So I did enjoy it. It was fun to read. It didn't like blow me away. Like, it wasn't like very emotional. It was a very like fun rom-com-y type book, set in fall, or like giving fall vibes with that witchy aspect. But it definitely felt very magical, whimsical with that witchy aspect, and fun to read and listen to. So I did rate this a 3.5 stars just because it was fun. I enjoyed reading this. I also did not know this is a second book in a series. The first book is Go Hex Yourself, which I believe like the characters from that book pop up in this book. So I don't think you have to read the first book to enjoy this. I enjoyed it. It was fun. And nothing like too emotional, like I said. So it definitely felt like a TV show when I was reading it. So that was fun too. Like a rom-com TV show about witches. That sounds fun. I would watch it. So yeah, that's the what I read. Third book that I read in the month of October, What the Hex by Jessica Clare, with a 3.5 star. The fourth book I read this month was Soul Searching by Lila Sage, and I will say this was my favorite read of the month. I have some notes that I wanted to share. I loved the emotional depth and the heartwarming romance and the little touches of self-discovery that we get for Collins in this book. I absolutely loved reading this book. I don't know how Lila was able to create the atmosphere that you feel while reading this book is like insane, because I would sit and read and I felt like I was in this small town. Like, I kept imagining my college town just because that's like a small town vibe, even though it's not small town. But like, if you're thinking of the downtown area, that's what I thought of as Sweetwater Peak. And I just remember reading this and like feeling like the gloomy, foggy ghost town vibe while reading it. So I don't know what she put in this book to make me feel like that, but I loved it. And I loved getting to know Colin and her like self-discovery of who she is and like what she's supposed to do in life. Loved, as well as adding a romance or like a lover, which is Brady Cooper. So I absolutely love this. Very heartwarming, and I can't wait to see what is next in this series. The next book in the series is called Free Falling, and it's actually about Colin's twin sister Clark. So I'm super excited because you get some info about who she is, but you know, you're in Colin's point of view, so you don't know too much. You only know her as her twin sister, but super excited. I'm super excited. Okay, Lila Sage, beautifully written. I definitely feel the vibe change from Rebel Blue Ranch to this series. It just feels like she's not like matured or grown up more, but it's just like as a writer you can tell that like she has changed her writing to have more of a different theme based off of the fun cowboy romance to this. So I'm super excited, love the paranormal aspect, and I can't wait to see what else Lila Sage has in store for the next book in Sweetwater Peak. So this was Soul Searching by Lila Sage. Did I say my rating? I don't know if I did. I've rated this a 4.5, okay? So almost a 5-star, just not quite there. 5-star feeling for me is like, I gotta be bawling my eyes out by the end of the book or something like that. Didn't quite get that in this book, but it's still beautifully written and lovely to read, so I highly recommend Soul Searching. And the last and final book that I read this month was A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. Now I know this was like a popular book talk book for a while when it first came out, I want to say. And there's also a show, which I did watch the show, and I can say that I liked the book a lot better than the show on Netflix. This is about a senior named Pip, or is she a senior? Yeah, she's a senior. Pippa, or Pip, she's doing this project and she decides to do this murder case about a girl from her town called Andy Bell, or named Andy Bell, who was murdered by her boyfriend. But Pip believes that the boyfriend Sal did not kill Andy, and so she goes on this quest to figure out who actually killed Andy. And I loved this mystery, okay? It definitely had some twists in there, and I liked the style of writing that Holly Jackson had. It was kind of like a interactive type reading, because I listened to the audiobook and it was just super fun, because you had like whenever there was an interview, like there was like the clicks of like the recorder starting and then it sounded like an actual interview, so it felt like a podcast or like an actual like true crime documentary kind of thing that I was like listening to. So I highly recommend the audiobook for this, because it made it like so much better. I feel like it was fast-paced. Usually thrillers, like they have to be fast-paced for me or I'm not gonna like hold my attention. And I guess this is a series. There's Good Girl, Bad Blood. I don't know if I really want to read the series. I feel like just leaving it at this is fine with me. Like I feel like the one book was enough for me, but I enjoyed the twisty mystery thriller aspect of this book, and I rated it a 4 stars. So like I said, probably won't read the next book. I'm good with where we ended in this, so but if I do get my hands on it or something like that, maybe I'll continue it. But that's A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson with a 4-star rating. Those were the 5 books that I read in the month of October. Let me know what books you read in the month of October, or if you've read any of the books I read this October. I really enjoyed Soul Searching. I highly recommend if you're looking for something to read. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and also make sure you subscribe. I post videos once a week, whether it's bookish content like this, lifestyle vlogs, kind of whatever I'm in the mood for. So if you like what you're seeing, you should go ahead and subscribe. That's about it. Thanks for watching. Bye!